Hey everyone, this is Chapter 1, today's security professional. This chapter immediately tells you just how crucial your role in security will be. In today's incredibly complex digital world, you're the shield. Your core responsibility is to protect your organization's most valuable assets, its information and systems. You do this by upholding the 3 pillars of cybersecurity. Confidentiality. Keeping secrets, making sure only authorized people see the data. Integrity, ensuring the data is correct and hasn't been tampered with. It must be trustworthy. Availability, making sure the systems and data are ready to use whenever they're needed. No one likes downtime. To fulfill this mission, you have to be one step ahead. You need to understand the threats facing your organization and implement the right controls, those security measures, to successfully counter them. This first section introduces these core CIA objectives, and the rest of the chapter will explore the controls we use to protect that sensitive data from prying eyes. Get ready, because this is where we build the strong foundation for everything else you'll learn. When most people think of cybersecurity, they just think of hackers stealing credit cards. While that's true, the overall mission is actually much broader. Our job is to protect against threats to 3 core goals. As you can see in the diagram, confidentiality, integrity, and availability. Let's quickly break down how we achieve them. Confidentiality is about keeping secrets. We use encryption and access control lists, ACLs, digital gatekeepers, to stop unauthorized disclosure. If an attacker's goal is to steal sensitive information, they are attacking confidentiality. Integrity means keeping data correct and trustworthy. We use controls like hashing to create a digital fingerprint, making sure no one can secretly change or corrupt data, whether accidentally, like a power spike, or maliciously. Availability ensures that authorized users can always access the systems and information when they need them. We achieve this with things like backups, clustering, and fault tolerance. If a fire destroys a data center, that's a non-malicious attack on availability. Now pay close attention to this next key concept, non-repudiation. Even though it's not officially part of the CIA Triad, it's a vital goal for many security controls. Non-repudiation simply means that if someone performs an action, like sending a critical message or approving a transfer, they cannot later deny that they took that action. We prove this using tools like digital signatures. Exam note, always remember the 3 main goals are CIA. But if you see a question about the assurance of an action that can't be denied, the answer is non-repudiation. Keep these 4 concepts straight and you've mastered the fundamentals. Let's talk about the ugly side of security. Data breach risks. A security incident or a data breach happens when we fail to protect one or more parts of our CIA Triad: confidentiality, integrity, or availability. It's easy to think only of malicious hackers, but incidents actually come from 3 places. Malicious activity. This is the classic bad guy. An attacker actively trying to break in and steal sensitive information. Accidental activity. These are mistakes, like an employee leaving an unencrypted laptop in the back of a taxi or a rideshare car. This is a massive risk to confidentiality that we must constantly train against. Natural activity. Threats we can't control. Think of an earthquake destroying a data center, making critical services unavailable. As a security pro, your job is to understand all 3 types of risks and implement the right controls, the security measures, to manage these risks down to an acceptable level. We can't eliminate risk entirely, but we must first understand the potential impact a breach will have on our organization. Only then can we choose the right defense. Alright, let's learn the second crucial model, the DAD Triad. We already mastered the CIA Triad: confidentiality, integrity, and availability. These are the security goals we try to achieve. The DAD Triad is the perfect complement because it describes the 3 key threats that attack our CIA goals. Think of DAD as the cybercriminal's job description. Here is how DAD maps directly to CIA. DB disclosure. If we fail, we get this. This is the threat of sensitive information being exposed to unauthorized people. It directly attacks confidentiality. if a hacker steals a client list, that is disclosure. A. Alteration. If we fail, we get this. This is the threat of information being unauthorizedly modified or corrupted. It directly attacks integrity. If a hacker changes a financial record to steal money, that is alteration. D. Denial. If we fail, we get this. This is the threat of an authorized user being unable to access information or systems. It directly attacks availability. A DDoS attack that shuts down a website is a perfect example of denial. The CIA and DAD Triads are the essential tools for planning and risk analysis. As a security pro, when you assess risk, for example on a company website, you simply ask, could this website lead to disclosure of sensitive data? CIA. Confidentiality risk. Could an attack lead to unauthorized alteration of the information? CIA. Integrity risk. Could an attacker disrupt the site, causing a denial of service? CIA. Availability risk. Master these two triads, and you've got the foundation for every risk assessment you'll ever do. Let's analyze the cost of a breach. When a security incident hits, the impact isn't just technical. It hits the business in many different ways. We categorize the potential damage into 5 core business risks. You need to know all of them. Financial risk. This is the direct money loss. Think the cost of rebuilding a destroyed server, paying experts for a forensic investigation, or the fines from lost business. Reputational risk. This is the loss of goodwill and trust among customers and partners due to negative media coverage. Even if you fix the technical problem, customers might not want to do business with you anymore. The threat of identity theft for your customers is a huge part of this. Strategic risk. This is when a breach stops the company from achieving its major long-term goals. For example, if a competitor steals new product plans, they might beat you to the market, ruining your entire strategy. Operational risk. This affects the day-to-day work. It causes delays in shipping products, requires employees to use slow, manual workarounds, and slows down normal business processes. Compliance risk. This occurs when a breach causes the organization to violate laws or regulations. For instance, losing patient records violates HIPAA, leading to massive fines from regulators. Key takeaway: you rarely get just one risk. A single breach that exposes customer data can cause financial loss, fines, reputational damage, bad press, and compliance violations, regulator action, all at once. Your job is to implement controls that manage all of these risks down to an acceptable level. All right, everyone, that brings us to the end of an essential session. Today, we laid the absolute foundation for cybersecurity. We established why a security professional is so critical, defined our goals with the CIA Triad: confidentiality, integrity, availability, and understood the threats with the DA Triad: disclosure, alteration, denial. We also covered the harsh reality that breaches have massive, multifaceted effects across financial, reputational, strategic, operational, and compliance risk categories. And, as an exam-focused reminder, don't forget the concept of non-repudiation. You have just completed the first lesson of your CompTIA Security Plus SY0-701 training. Great work! In our next session, we are moving from theory to action. We will dive deep into the tools and strategies we use to counter these threats, covering implementing security controls, gap analysis and security control categories and types, exploring compensating controls, the backups to your backups, data protection principles like data encryption, data loss prevention (DLP), and data minimization, access restrictions, and segmentation isolation. If you found this lesson helpful, please remember to hit that subscribe button, give the video a thumbs up, and turn on notifications. That small action helps us bring you more free training content. See you in the next session. Stay secure.